Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Growth is not a destination, it's a decision. You don't wake up successful. You don't stumble into greatness. You build it step by step, choice by choice, day by day. So today I want to give you 10 things, 10 critical areas of your life that you must improve every single day if you want to see transformation. Growth is intentional, not accidental. It doesn't happen by chance, and it doesn't come simply because you wish for it. Growth is a product of deliberate choices, consistent actions, and an unwavering commitment to becoming better each day. It requires effort, discipline, and a mindset that refuses to settle for mediocrity. No one wakes up one morning suddenly wiser, stronger, or more successful than they were the day before. Every great achievement is built upon a foundation of small, daily improvements, decisions made in moments when no one is watching, sacrifices made when it would be easier to stay the same, and a relentless pursuit of excellence, even in the face of setbacks. The truth is, growth demands discomfort. It calls you to step beyond the familiar and into the unknown. It stretches you, challenges you, and sometimes even breaks you down before it builds you up. It asks you to unlearn old habits, rewire your thinking, and take responsibility for your own progress. Too many people wait for the right circumstances, the perfect opportunity, or a lucky break to change their lives. But growth doesn't come to those who wait, it comes to those who work. It belongs to the ones who show up every day, who invest in themselves, who take action despite fear, and who refuse to let setbacks define them. Every decision you make, no matter how small, is either moving you forward or holding you back. The books you read, the conversations you engage in, the company you keep, and even the way you speak to yourself, all of it plays a role in shaping who you become. If you want to grow, you have to be intentional about what you allow into your mind and yours. You have to choose discipline over distractions, learning over entertainment, and progress over comfort. You must commit to the process, understanding that growth is not a destination, it's a journey. And that journey never stops, because the moment you stop growing is the moment you stop truly living. Your mind is the soil where your future grows. Whatever you plant there, whatever you nurture, whatever you allow to take root will eventually manifest in your life. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, then your life will reflect those very things. You will find yourself stuck, unable to move forward, constantly second-guessing yourself, and trapped in a cycle of limitation. But if you plant seeds of growth, faith, knowledge, and perseverance, then you will watch your life flourish in ways you never imagined. The thoughts you entertain on a daily basis shape the way you see the world. Your perspective is determined by the quality of what you allow into your mind. When your mind is filled with self-doubt and insecurity, you will hesitate when opportunities arise. You will see obstacles where there should be challenges to overcome, and you will talk yourself out of greatness because you don't believe you're capable of achieving it. But when your mind is filled with confidence, vision, and determination, you won't just see problems, you will see solutions. You won't just acknowledge challenges, you will welcome them as stepping stones to success. Just as a farmer is intentional about the seeds they plant, you must be intentional about the thoughts you allow to grow in your mind. A farmer doesn't throw seeds on barren, unfertile ground and hope for the best. They prepare the soil, remove the weeds, and make sure the conditions are right for growth. The same is true for your mind. If you allow weeds of negativity, past failures, and toxic influences to take over, they will choke the life out of your potential. If you constantly replay past mistakes, entertain negative self-talk, and surround yourself with people who drain your energy, then you are making it impossible for your mind to nurture the ideas, dreams, and ambitions that could change your life. Your beliefs are the roots that anchor you. They determine how strong you stand when the storms of life come. If your beliefs are weak, easily shaken, or built on the opinions of others, then you will constantly feel unsteady. But if your beliefs are deeply rooted in faith, wisdom, and self-awareness, then no matter what comes your way, you will stand firm. You will not be easily swayed by failure, rejection, or setbacks because you know that your growth is a process and every challenge is just another opportunity to deepen your roots. Your environment matters too. Just as a plant needs the right amount of sunlight, water, nutrients to grow, your mind needs the right influences, the right conversations, and the right kind of knowledge. You must be careful about what you consume daily, whether it's the books you read, the media you engage with, or the people you listen to. If you surround yourself with people who think small, who are content with mediocrity, and who discourage ambition, then that mindset will rub off on you. But if you place yourself in environments that challenge you, inspire you, and push you toward excellence, then your mind will expand, your perspective will shift, and you begin to think bigger. Growth is not just about what you plant, but also about what you are willing to uproot. If you want to transform your life, you have to be willing to dig deep and remove the limiting beliefs that have held you back for years. You must confront the lies you've believed about yourself, the lies that say you're not good enough, that success is for other people, or that you don't have what it takes. Those lies are weeds, and as long as they remain in your mind, they will hinder your growth. You must be relentless in pulling them out, replacing them with truth, and guarding your mental soil from anything that threatens your potential. Your mind is a powerful force, capable of creating the reality you desire. The question is, what are you planting? What are you watering? What are you allowing to grow? Because the harvest you reap tomorrow will be the direct result of the seeds you sow today. Discipline today determines success tomorrow. It is the unseen force that shapes your future, the foundation upon which every great achievement is built. Without discipline, talent remains untapped, dreams remain unfulfilled, and potential remains locked away. It's not the most gifted, the most intelligent, or the most privileged who rise to the top, but rather those who are willing to do what others won't, others who wake up early when others sleep in, those who practice when others relax, and those who push forward even when they feel like giving up. Discipline is the ability to say no to distractions, to resist the temptation of short-term gratification for the sake of long-term success. It is waking up and doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Feelings are fleeting, motivation comes and goes, but discipline remains constant. It is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be, the force that keeps you moving forward when excitement fades, and the foundation that sustains you when challenges arise. Without discipline, even the best intentions crumble under the weight of inconsistency. Every successful person, no matter their field, understands the power of discipline. Athletes train when their bodies ache. Musicians practice when they'd rather rest. Entrepreneurs work when the world is asleep. And students study when their friends are out enjoying themselves. These individuals understand that discipline is not just about working hard, it is about working smart, about committing to a process, about understanding that the reward does not come immediately, but will always come to those who remain diligent. Discipline is what separates the dreamers from the doers. Many people have great ideas, big visions, and extraordinary dreams, but very few are willing to put in the work to make them a reality. It is easy to get excited about a goal when it is fresh and new, but true success belongs to those who keep going long after the excitement wears off. Discipline is waking up every day and doing the hard things, the uncomfortable things, the things that don't bring immediate results, but over time create an unstoppable momentum. It is the ability to train your mind and body to work in alignment with your goals. Your body may want to stay in bed, your mind may want to make excuses, but discipline forces you to push past resistance. The more you exercise discipline, the stronger it becomes. It is like a muscle. The more you use it, the more resilient it gets. Every time you choose to show up when you don't feel like it, every time you choose hard work over ease, every time you push yourself beyond your comfort zone, You are strengthening the very foundation of your future success. Discipline is not just about work, it is about consistency in every area of life. It is the ability to control your emotions when anger rises, to control your spending when unnecessary desires pull at you, to control your habits when temptations arise. It is the force that keeps you focused on the bigger picture, reminding you that every decision you make today is shaping the life you will live tomorrow. It requires sacrifice, patience, and a level of self-mastery that does not come overnight. It is easy to admire successful people, to look at their achievements and wish for the same results, but what is often overlooked is the years of disciplined effort behind the scenes. The hours of practice, the countless failures, the sacrifices made, the temptations resisted, these are the things that determine greatness. Talent can only take you so far, but discipline will take you where talent alone cannot sustain you. Discipline today determines whether or not you will have financial freedom in the future, whether or not your body will be healthy and strong, whether or not your relationships will thrive, whether or not your skills will reach their peak, whether or not your dreams will come to pass. It is the price that must be paid up front for the rewards that come later. Every decision to stay committed, to push through discomfort, to keep going when it gets hard is an investment in the person you are becoming and the future you are building. When you lack discipline, you live life on autopilot, reacting to circumstances rather than creating them. You procrastinate, you make excuses, you let opportunities slip away, and you remain stuck in cycles of mediocrity. But when you embrace discipline, you take control of your life. You stop waiting for the right moment, the perfect conditions, or external motivation to get started. You simply do what needs to be done, knowing that every step, no matter how small, is moving you closer to your goals. It is waking up before the sun to work on your craft, studying when others are distracted, making the hard choices that others avoid, staying focused when the world tempts you to stray, practicing patience when results don't come immediately, and trusting the process when everything inside you wants to quit. Discipline is not glamorous, it is not easy, and it is not always enjoyable, but it is always worth it. Your circle determines your altitude. The people you surround yourself with either lift you up or pull you down. They either push you toward greatness or hold you back in mediocrity. Your environment is one of the most powerful influences on your success because no matter how strong you think you are constantly absorbing the energy, mindset, and habits of those around you. If you spend your time with people who complain, make excuses, and settle for less, then no matter how ambitious you are, their mentality will start rubbing off on you. But if you surround yourself with people who are driven, focused, and determined to grow, then you will naturally start elevating yourself to the level. Your relationships shape your thinking, and your thinking shapes your future. If the people around you are always talking about problems instead of solutions, focusing on setbacks instead of opportunities, and entertaining gossip instead of growth, then that is the mindset you will adopt. Even if you don't realize it, the conversations you engage in daily influence the way you see the world. The words spoken into your life either fuel your fuel or feed your fears. The perspectives you hear regularly shape your decisions, and your decisions ultimately determine your destiny. You cannot fly if you are surrounded by people who are afraid of heights. Some people are comfortable on the ground, content with where they are, and then intimidated by those who want to rise higher. When you start dreaming big, thinking differently, and pushing beyond what is familiar, these people will try to pull you back down, not always out of malice, but because your growth makes them uncomfortable. Your success exposes their complacency. Your discipline reminds them of their excuses. Your elevation forces them to confront their own unwillingness to grow, and rather than rising with you, they will try to keep you where they are. You must be intentional about who you allow into your inner circle. Not everyone deserves a seat at your table. Some people drain your energy, distract you from your purpose, and discourage your progress. They may not always do it openly, but through their words, their actions, and their mindset, they slowly plant seeds of doubt and limitation. They tell you to be realistic when you share your vision. They remind you of past failures when you try again, and they criticize you when you choose discipline over indulgence. These are the voices that keep you from soaring, the weights that keep you from taking flight. The people closest to you should challenge you to grow. They should inspire you to be better, hold you accountable when you slack off, and encourage you when the journey gets tough. They should celebrate your success, not secretly resent it. They should push you to step outside of your comfort zone, not make you feel guilty for wanting more. You need to be surrounded by people who think bigger than you do, who dream beyond what is comfortable, and who take action instead of just talking about it. Because when you are in the presence of greatness, you cannot help but rise to the occasion. Look at the 5 people you spend the most time with, because that is a reflection of your future. If they are growing, you will grow. If they are stagnant, you will become stagnant. If they are constantly learning, improving, and striving for more, you will naturally be pulled in that direction. But if they are stuck in the same cycles, making the same excuses, and living the same life year after year, then you have to ask yourself if that is the future you want. You cannot reach new heights while carrying old baggage. Some relationships are seasonal, and holding on to for too long will keep you from your next level. It is not about looking down on people. It is about recognizing that your purpose requires a certain kind of environment. Just as an eagle cannot soar in a cage, you cannot fulfill your potential while surrounded by people who do not believe in elevation. Growth requires separation. Sometimes you have to let go of familiar company to make room for those who are aligned with where you are going. The right circle will not only support your vision, but also challenge it. They will not just agree with everything you say, but will push you to think deeper, work harder, and aim higher. They will not allow you to make excuses or settle for less than what you are capable of. They will remind you of your goals when you feel like quitting, speak life into your dreams when doubt creeps in, and hold you to a standard of excellence even when you feel like taking the easy route. If you want to change your life, start by changing your circle. Elevation requires alignment. The company you keep will either fuel your growth or feed your limitations. Your co is either an asset or a liability, a ladder or a cage, a source of strength or a source of struggles. When you choose wisely, when you surround yourself with people who are as committed to success as you are, when you place yourself in an environment that cultivates greatness, you will rise higher than you ever thought possible. Faith without action is just a wish. It is nothing more than a dream left unpursued, a vision without movement, a hope without substance. Faith is powerful, but it was never meant to stand alone. It requires action, commitment, and a willingness to step forward even when the path is unclear. Many people have faith in their potential, faith in their dreams, faith that life can be better. But without taking action, that faith is nothing more than a passive desire. Wishing for success, hoping for change, and praying for opportunities will never be enough if there is no corresponding effort to bring those desires into reality. Faith is not about sitting still and waiting for things to happen. It is about believing so deeply in a vision that you are willing to work for it, fight for it, and persist even when the results are not immediate. Too often people mistake faith for passivity. They believe that if they simply have faith, everything will fall into place without effort. But faith is not a substitute for action. It is the fuel for action. It is the belief that drives you to wake up early, to push through setbacks, to keep moving forward when nothing seems to be working. It is not about just saying, I believe, but about proving that belief through your actions, through your discipline, and through your relentless pursuit of the goal. Faith requires courage. It is easy to believe in something when there is no risk involved, but real faith demands that you step out of your comfort zone and take bold action. It means investing time, energy, and resources into something before you see the results. It means putting yourself in situations where failure is possible, rejection is likely, and obstacles are inevitable. Faith without action is safe, but real faith is daring. It is stepping out into the unknown, trusting that every step you take is leading you closer to your breakthrough. Some people say they have faith, but their actions contradict their words. They say they believe in success, but they don't put in the work. They say they believe in their dreams, but they never take the first step. They say they trust the process, but they give up at the first sign of difficulty. Faith is not just in what you say, it is in what you do. If you truly believe that something is possible, your actions will reflect that belief. If you believe you can build a business, you will start laying the foundation. If you believe you can improve your health, you will change your habits. If you believe you can master a skill, you will practice daily. Faith is proven through action, and without action, it remains nothing more than an empty statement. Many people wait for the perfect moment, thinking that if they just have enough faith, everything will align for them. They wait for the right time, the right connections, the right level of confidence before they begin. But faith is not about waiting for ideal circumstances. It is about moving forward despite uncertainty. If you are waiting for all conditions to be perfect before you act, then you are not operating in faith, you are operating in hesitation. Real faith is stepping out before you have all the answers, trusting that the process will unfold as you move. Faith without action also leads to frustration. Many people feel stuck, wondering why their lives are not changing, why doors are not opening, why success seems out of reach. But the truth is, faith alone does not produce results. Faith combined with effort does. If you have faith that you can be financially free but continue to spend recklessly, your faith is ineffective. If you have faith that you can write a book but never start writing, your faith is wasted. If you have faith that you can achieve greatness but never take steps toward it, your faith remains stagnant. Action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be, and without it, you will remain exactly where you are, no matter how much faith you claim to have. Faith is about taking responsibility. It is about recognizing that while belief is essential, it is your actions that ultimately create change. It is not just about hoping for opportunities, but about positioning yourself for them. It is not just about expecting success, but about putting in the hours to make it happen. It is not just about visualizing your goals, but about working relentlessly until they become reality. The strongest faith is not found in words, it is found in movement, in persistence, and consistency. When you truly have faith in something, you will show it through your decisions. You will invest in yourself even when it feels uncomfortable. You will push through failures even when quitting seems easier. You will stay committed even when progress is slow. Because faith is not about what you see in the moment, it is about what you know is possible. And it is that knowing that fuels your determination to act. There is no substitute for action. You cannot pray your way to success without working for it. You cannot believe your way into a better life without making the necessary changes. You cannot expect transformation if you are unwilling to put in the effort. Faith is meant to be active, not passive. It is meant to drive you, to push you, to stretch you beyond your limits. It is meant to be the force that gets you out of bed in the morning, that keeps you going through challenges, that reminds you that no matter how hard it gets, you are capable of pushing through. Faith without action is nothing more than a wasted opportunity. It is potential left untapped, a future left unclaimed, and a vision left unfulfilled. It is the difference between those who dream and those who achieve, between those who wish and those who work, between those who talk about greatness and those who walk in it. Because in the end, it is not just what you believe that determines your future, it is what you do with that belief that makes all the difference. Your words create your world. The words you speak shape the life you live, whether you realize it or not. Every word that comes out of your mouth carries power. It either builds or destroys, lifts up or tears down, opens doors or shuts them. Your words influence your mindset, your actions, and your outcomes. They are not just sounds leaving your lips. They are declarations, commands, and seeds that eventually grow into the reality you experience. If you constantly speak doubt, fear, and negativity, you will find yourself trapped in a cycle of limitation. If you say, I'm not good enough, you will act as if you are not good enough. If you say, nothing ever works out for me, your mind will focus on failures rather than opportunities. If you say, I'm always broke, you will develop habits that keep you financially stuck. Your words set the direction of your life, and if you are not careful with what you say, you may be building a world filled with struggle, frustration, and disappointment. But just as words can limit you, they can also liberate you. When you choose to speak words of faith, confidence, and expectation, you shift your reality. When you declare, I am capable, your mind starts finding ways to prove it. When you say opportunities are coming my way, you start noticing doors that you once had overlooked. When you affirm, I am growing, learning, and improving every day, you develop the mindset that fuels progress. Words are the blueprint for your life. And what you say repeatedly becomes what you believe, what you pursue, and ultimately what you achieve. Your words don't just affect you, they affect those around you. The way you speak to others has the power to uplift or discourage, to inspire or to break down. Words can either ignite confidence in someone or plant seeds of doubt that take years to uproot. A single sentence spoken in frustration can damage a relationship, while a few words of encouragement can change someone's life. Leaders, parents, teachers, and mentors understand this power. They know that their words shape the thoughts and emotions of those who listen to them, and they use their speech to create an atmosphere of growth, belief, and motivation. Many people underestimate the power of their words because they don't see immediate results. They speak negatively and think it doesn't matter because nothing changes right away. But words work like seeds. You don't see their impact overnight, but given enough time, they take root and manifest. If you consistently speak failure, failure will eventually show up. If you continuously speak success, success will start aligning itself with you. The universe, your subconscious mind, and the people around you respond to the words you use. What you speak eventually becomes what you see. Some people sabotage their own progress simply by the way they speak. They say, I'll never get out of this situation, and they stay stuck. They say, I don't have what it takes, and they never push themselves to grow. They say, I'm just unlucky, and they fail to take responsibility for their actions. They create barriers with their words, limiting their potential before they even try. But those who understand the power of speech use their words to break barriers instead of build them. They speak life into their goals, strength into their struggles, and confidence into their challenges. Speaking the right words requires discipline. It's easy to let negative words slip out when things get tough. It's natural to complain, to vent frustrations, and to voice insecurities. But just because it's easy doesn't mean it's beneficial. Successful people train themselves to speak words that align with their goals, not their frustrations. They don't deny reality, but they refuse to be controlled by negativity. They don't say this is impossible, but rather I'll find a way. They don't say I'm not good enough, but rather I'm learning and improving. They use their words as tools to shape their future, not as weapons to destroy it. The words you repeat the most become your internal beliefs. If you constantly say, I can't, you start to believe it without even realizing it. If you always say, this is too hard, you program your mind to give up easily. But when you make a habit of saying, I am strong, I am capable, and I am built for success, you rewire your thinking. Your brain starts looking for ways to align with those statements. You begin to develop resilience, determination, and confidence, not because of wishful thinking, but because your words have shaped your mindset. Every great achiever understands the power of words. Athletes speak victory before stepping onto the field. Entrepreneurs declare success before launching their business. Leaders inspire people with words that create vision and purpose. They don't allow fear, doubt, or hesitation to dictate their speech. They understand that their words are the foundation of their world, and they choose to speak in alignment with the future they want to create. Your words set the atmosphere for your life. If you want to live a life of abundance, you must speak abundance. If you want to live a life of strength, you must speak strength. If you want to live a life of purpose, you must speak purpose. Words are more than just sounds. They are creative forces that shape everything around you. The world you live in today is a reflection of the words you have spoken in the past. And the world you will live in tomorrow depends on the words you choose to speak today. The power of your words cannot be underestimated. They shape your mindset, influence your actions, and determine the direction of your life. What you speak consistently becomes what you believe, and what you believe dictates how you move through the world. If you desire growth, success, and transformation, your language must align with that vision. Faith without action is just a wish, and the words you declare must be backed by movement. It is not enough to speak positivity. You must also take deliberate steps toward your goals. Your discipline today determines your success tomorrow, and every word you speak should reinforce the habits and mindset that lead to achievement. Your circle determines your altitude, and the voices you listen to will either propel you forward or hold you back. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to be better, who encourage you to rise higher, and who speak words of belief into your life. Be intentional about the conversations you entertain, because every word you absorb shapes your reality. Your mind is the soil where your future grows, and the words you plant within it will determine the harvest you reap. Speak life, speak faith, speak victory, because the words you choose today will build the world you live in tomorrow.